Let's build with these blocks today. Today I was inspired by this concept art I found on Pinterest, which is a vibey yellow house. Recreating concept art is such a great way to get out of the building rut, so today I'm challenging myself to build this block for block while putting my own spin on it. So I'm starting out with a rather large door here and then building up some basic walls using yellow terracotta. And immediately I want to set these different levels, including this brick balcony and making a nice sandstone staircase up to it, bringing the wall out. And now I'm using a bit of world edit to create the general shape of the house, which is a bunch of rectangles stacked on each other of different sizes and different levels, creating a nice amount of variation with the height and depth. I feel like I'm still such a beginner with these building tools like World Edit and Axiom, but with the stuff I do know, they end up saving so much time just filling in walls and creating different shapes. So I highly recommend you try them out. And now I have this balcony that's a big part of the concept art, but it was feeling a little cramped, so I'm pushing the walls back a bit and filling the rest up with bricks and this wall as well, just to have enough space. I really want to capture the essence of like a carefree and relaxing cool summer's day where you can just lay out on this balcony and have a cool lemonade, water your plants, sniff the air, hang out with your cat and read a book, you know. That was a lot, but now I'm making some trims here with smooth sandstone to give some highlight and break up these plain walls. And just like the last build, we start with some of these planar blocks that's very one tone, and then we'll be texturing it with a mix of other blocks later. So I decided this double trim was way too thick, and yeah, it looks way better just with one slab there. And you may notice I'm just jumping around so much, but this is kind of how I like to build, especially when I'm trying to recreate art. I'm like, oh, I should make this, I should add this, and then all just comes together at the end. I don't know if you guys are the same way or you like to lay out everything all at once using wool and then fill it in with the blocks. I've seen a lot of different styles. But speaking of style, look at that door, and then we add in a little trapdoor window. In line with the concept art, they have a bit of like a garage shutter that pulls down on a few parts of the house, so I'm using the horizontal texture of the quartz pillar to emulate that, and then using acacia wood as this like flowy cloth overhang. Next up, we're making a balcony on the second story, once again going for the shutter, a bit more of the wall overhang at the very top, and then using spruce wood to create a small balcony with trapdoors as a railing. I thought the jungle trapdoors were a bit too noisy with all the different holes, so I added oak trapdoors in between to complement. And now we're going for the nice gentle sloped roof using the bricks once again and just one slab up on each side. Very nice Tuscan vibes. And then we're using trapdoors as a lining on this overhang and using sandstone as a trim. To be honest guys, the most awkward part about these slab roofs is also the space at the peak, because you can't fully make it wall material or else it'll look really awkward at the top as you see here. But if you make it the roof material, you see it peeking through underneath, and it's crazy. It's such a trade-off, but we'll come back to that later. Adding another window here, this time with one part of it open with the trap doors. And now this is the trickiest part of the build. I won't lie guys. We're making an attachment to the main part of the house that's like kind of green in the concept art, but this just looks like an inverted carrot here with the orange roof. So I wanted to contrast against the yellow, but this just doesn't work completely. I'm like, how can we make it work? We're gonna add some brown supports to blend it in better, but now we're shifting gears to a blue and changing that out. It just fits way better, complementary to the yellow and the orange, which goes to show that concept art is a great way to get ideas, but you shouldn't copy it exactly as it's shown because it doesn't emulate the colors exactly into Minecraft. Now I'm adding these industrial fan or like AC units on the side of the house, which were also in the art. I try to bring the brick from the roof down into the wall to make it look weathered, but I wasn't completely happy with how the colors really blended. Jumping in with some random details, again, just jumping around. Whenever I feel like adding, I'm just gonna add. And a nice clothesline made of fences and fence gates just really brings that vibe together, that cool summer sunny vibe. Like, why am I so hyper focused on perfecting these details when I don't even have the main parts of the house done? Like, it just looks like yellow blob right now. But let's make a lounge chair. This is what I love about building. Honestly, you can do it your way, and I'm gonna freaking make a lounge chair and a plant when I feel like it, you know? But after procrastinating for a bit, you know, we're finally getting into the nitty-gritty here. I'm trying to expand this brick, but it's just way too much of a contrast. Any yellow block doesn't really mix too well tonally and texturally with the smooth nature of yellow terracotta. I really tried so many things, as you can see here. Stuff that would fit in the desert. Honestly, I'm pretty confident about like this texturing because sandstone has a lot of more white and yellowish toned blocks to go with it. But with this yellow terracotta, I was just stumped. And you probably tell by our intro, I eventually did figure out 2 blocks that go surprisingly well, which is jungle and strip jungle. Because of like how faded and desaturated they are, I guess. I was having the same issue with the light blue terracotta as well. It's just so smooth. So I went with glow lichen, which has a similar color, but adds a bit of texture. And the hack is like, it just keeps the light blue underneath. So it's like almost a bit cheaty. So now that I actually have my palette locked in, I'm going and texturing every part of the house, including the brick roofs as well, adding some granite and polished granite to make it look worn. And of course, now we can get rid of that weird brick sticking out, texturing it with our jungle combo. Thank you all for the support on the previous first episode of this series. I'll be uploading these as shorts and as long form, and I honestly really enjoyed doing both. I can explain more of my thought process in the long form, but show you guys the end result quicker in a short form. So thank you for watching both. If you're curious to see how my brain works, then I really do appreciate you checking out both videos. So we're extending the trim all the way around to the back of the house, and this is kind of where I have to use my brain a bit more since this isn't in the concept art at all. So the easy part is we have a lot of the blocks figured out. We just need to figure out how to texture up this plain wall and make it look more interesting. Hey, where did that random donkey come in? Well, here it is. This is the left side of our house, which had a big plain wall as well, so I wanted to make a nice wooden overhang here and have a family donkey for this beautiful house. I think it fit in thematically pretty well, and we gave him a nice water trough to drink out of. Trough? I don't know what the heck these are called. And then above Mr. Donkey, we added some windows, 1x2 with the trapdoors, and our classic spruce trapdoor shutters, making for some very nice detail, making the front door a bit more grand and interesting. But some more windows at the back of the house, experimenting with some different shapes here. And finally, the last touching details. Things are looking so good. Having some overgrown bushes here makes a big difference color-wise. And of course, we can't forget my all-time favorite detail. Let's see how many videos we can sneak it in. I still wasn't fully satisfied with how boxy the house was, so I added a strip of glazed terracotta there to break it up. Look at this bicycle. Isn't it amazing? It looks weird, I know. Challenged myself to build a little custom tree here with the same bushes out of a pot, and closing it out with one more window on the top floor and a bit of detail on this upper balcony. And that is day 2 of our 30-day build challenge complete. Be sure to drop a comment on what I should build next, and I'll be sure to build it in a future video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.